surprise inspection this week, we did a lot of jokes about the planet Uranus, and a bunch of you said that's not how that planet is pronounced. If I had pronounced it a different way, my writers would have gone on strike again. I opened the last episode saying that I was not a boomer. A bunch of you pointed out I still did a Jimmy Stewart impression and made a Who joke. What started as a kind comment, I thought, about my Jimmy Stewart impression and then took a turn. That Jimmy Stewart one is out of this world. I can't recall a time that I have heard one where absolutely none of the basic elements of what makes his voice his were used. Whoa, hi there. Ooh, this one was bad. I guess I did the Pete Townsend windmill backwards. I guess he famously did it like this to end up, and I did it like this. But I was told that was on purpose. NBC said we can't even afford the residuals for the motion. I had to do a look-alike. Here's another nice comment. The last Corrections was our 90th episode. 90 tries, no good jokes or interesting stories. Let's see if something changes. Yeah, man, by all means, stick it out. You obviously got a lot going on. This, obviously now, episode 90. We're not going to do a big thing for the 100th episode. A lot of people are asking. We did, for the 50th episode, we did a spectacular. And I stressed that it was not an episode of Corrections. It was a special, a pre-recorded variety special. And then we submitted it in that category for the Emmys and received a letter from the Academy saying, we don't consider this a special because it's not any different from the other episodes of Corrections. And to the Academy, I say, fair. Got us dead to rights on that one. We tried to pull a fast one and you caught us. Congratulations. Also, congratulations to I Think You Should Leave, which did win the Emmy for this category. Fantastic show by our friends Tim and Zach. You know, you could also applaud for Corrections. Jesus. Like the whole time, I'm like, oh, they just must never clap. Biden said a book of fiction. I called him out. I said that's called a novel. A lot of you said a book of fiction could be a novella or a book of poems. I only read nonfiction poems. That's just me. You might think it limits them. It doesn't. The nonfiction limericks are worse. No one from Nantucket has one that long. I said Alaskan Airlines. It's Alaska Airlines. It used to be Alaskan, but then during a flight, the end just blew off. Just landed in a field in Nashville, which used to be Asheville. Someone said there are very few pizza delivery men in porn anymore. That comment was sent in by Anonymous. Had a joke about peanut allergies in Surprise Inspection. Then we showed an insulin pen instead of EpiPen. We knew the joke was about peanut allergies. We just thought it was so bad it would give the audience diabetes. Oh, I referenced the motorcycle I was going to buy this weekend, and I said how excited I was to finally be able to go vroom, vroom, vroom. I guess you don't do both at the same time, because only one is the accelerator. I was told if I did this, the bike would likely fly out from under him, raking his legs as it went, pulling him along like a rag doll. With that, I might pay to get both be accelerators. I've got 2 accelerator money. Oh, I was also told I don't have to make the vroom vroom. I guess that's included. Ooh, talking a lot about pandas, whether they eat meat or not. Pandas, here's a comment. Pandas are actually what's known as a facultative herbivore. They do better on a plant diet, but can eat meat. There is a video of a giant panda chasing, killing, and eating a peacock in a zoo. Now, obviously, when I read that, I quickly went to YouTube because I wanted to see if that was true. It is true. I found the video. We're going to show the video. I should warn you, if it's fairly graphic. It is what it says it is. So if that's not the kind of thing you want to see, maybe skip this part of a panda eating and killing a peacock at a zoo. Alex, you want to show it? A court stenographer doesn't use a typewriter. In my defense, it is hard to remember the name of the machine they use. A stenographer doesn't use a typewriter, they use a stenograph. I should have said stenograph. Or if I wanted to keep typewriter, I should have said the court typewriter. I said harakiri wrong. I hope I'm saying it right now. I said Harry Carey. I believe it's harakiri. I have dishonored myself. If only there was a way. Someone wrote this. Seth, not exactly on topic, but I thought you should know that your image, along with Kelly Clarkson's, is fraudulently being used to sell a product called Pure Balance Keto. I will attempt to send a screenshot if I can find an appropriate email address to send it to. Sue the bastards and keep up the great work. With corrections, it's the best. Thank you to whoever sent that in. And also thank you to Pure Balance Keto. Ever since I've started taking it, I have more energy. I sleep better. I feel better. Isn't that right, Kelly? And then just like cut her in laughing. And then just send me my money. Showed an ornament of it was a guy, it was a Steeler with the Mactonite head, and it said 1237 on it. And I initially said, oh, somebody was trying to guess the length of corrections. And then somebody said, no, it's actually a Bible verse. And I looked up the Bible verse, which was very apt to corrections. And then last week, 100 of you said, no, you dip. It's what time your show starts. That was definitely it. The last one I got to. Did a joke about the kind of fake eye Ellen tried to get me to show. It was a bloody eye with the nerves coming out of it. And I said, can you believe she wanted me to show this on TV, The Nerve? A lot of you said that was, I mean, that's an A+ joke, right? That's why you come to corrections. And someone wrote, bravo to whoever wrote that. I wrote that joke. To quote Joe Coy, I write the ones you laugh at. That one really rang true for me. Turned 50 over the break, and it's an interesting thing happens right before you turn 50. For the weeks leading up to it, people are like, oh my God, are you excited? You must be so excited. What are you doing in the big day? I can't wait to hear. I hope it goes well. And then you turn 50, and no one talks to you ever again. It's like you're invisible. It's like you're a ghost walking. And I mean, I went to the automatic doors of the grocery store. They didn't even open. In that joke, I go to the grocery store. Can you imagine? Where's your milk, I guess? How do you say it? Hey, I did turn 50, and we got that P.O. box that we set up, and I received some really lovely gifts. This is fantastic. I got some Animal Flubs finger puppets. Look at those. Beautiful. That's a really great gift. Thank you so much. Also, I will say we did a very long Animal Flub song, The Last Corrections, and I think a bunch of you hit your breaking point and asked me never to do it again. And so that is a New Year's resolution, is no more Animal Flubs songs. I want you to know I heard it loud and clear. I don't know if this is really from OSHA, but if you ever heard of OSHA, that's the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. And this is for your safety and the safety of those around you. And it is a pencil with a cork on it, because a lot of people, we talked about how I'm almost going to take my eye out, so I'll be using that from now on. Thank you very much. We got our 3D printer friend, and he made me this, by the way, you should really look away. The panda thing was a joke. This is actually distressing. He said, I sent you a Meyer lemon. It's very flattering. Emphasis on flat. Oh, and then someone said there was Amber did something about how she wanted her own Barbie, and someone sent this in for Amber with the loveliest card. And you know, when I was looking at it, I couldn't help but think, that's not what my P.O. box is for. Okay? If Amber wants a P.O. box to get gifts, she can set up her own P.O. box. It's not that hard. You just go to your assistant, you go, will you set up a P.O. box? Oh, and then, this is really special. You guys know I'm a Steelers fan. The camera crew got me an autographed Lynn Swann jersey. Look at that. Here's the autographs on this side. Lynn Swann, if you don't know, was a wide receiver from the Steelers who weighed 800 pounds. Just so graceful, and they got my size, 5XL. I'm gonna have, you know how many more years I'm gonna have to work to afford to frame this? This is like if David Byrne was a wide receiver. I am a boomer. Oh, and a chewing fit. We've been talking about how I chew my fingernails, and that's another New Year's resolution. I've tried to stop chewing my fingers, and we'll keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at how I'm doing.
Animal Flubs, Animal Flubs. It's time to take a look at some Animal Flubs. From the bears to the bees to the baby bear cubs. It's time for Animal Flubs.
And I know you don't need to say baby before you say bear cub, because in that case, cub means baby. But when you're writing a song on a Thursday afternoon when you really should be working on a closer look, sometimes you're gonna cut a few corners in order to make the rhyme scheme work.
Animal Flubs, Animal Flubs. I hope you're all ready for some Animal Flubs. Call all your pals, buddies, and bubs. It's time for Animal Flubs.
F
L U
B
S are the 5 letters you use to spell flubs. Animal Flubs.
I made the crew come in at 8 a.m. for that. See you next week.